My friends and neighbors, as I speak to you today, as in many times before, I can say without reservation that this country, our country, the country that we live in, is headed in a direction of utter destruction. A destruction more devastating than that of the Roman Empire, which took hundreds of years to build. And preventing that failure is the responsibility of you and I collectively. There must not be and cannot be any further division among us. Division is one of our greatest enemies. Failure to act is our greatest. All concerned citizens must mobilize all over this nation to preserve that which our forefathers so laboriously put together for our benefit. Acquaintances must become friends. Associates must become confidants. Unity begins with a full knowledge of what one is unifying behind. Now, without that knowledge, it is impossible to succeed and, most of all, maintain success. King Solomon wrote in Proverbs 29:18 that where there is no vision, the people will perish. Such a perishing has entered our party and this nation, and left unchecked, it will efficiently do its job and leave an empty cocoon of ideas and memories where there used to be a great and viable nation. This nation is supposed to be a nation of opportunity, a place where anyone can progress and succeed, irrespective of their nationality, their upbringing, or their religious affiliation. This nation of enterprise, this great experiment called the United States, works in perfect harmony when it is worked properly. And it is up to us, you and I, to work it. Jobs are at an all-time low. Trusting in the government is at an all-time low. Worldwide respect for this nation has departed from the negotiation tables. Military strength is at great risk. Violence in our cities is rising despite our greatest efforts. Fathers in our inner cities have left home. Mothers and women are overlooked. Consequently, we either get serious about these things or our nation will be known as the country that used to be a wonderful place to live in. And we cannot let that happen. You cannot let that happen. I cannot let that happen. This party cannot let that happen. And the answers are so simple that they evade us like a legendary mystic creature living in the forest of the Rocky Mountains. Is it because we don't want to be better? Or is it because we're so selfish that we've placed our personal gain over the gains of the people, over the needs of the people, over the desires of the people? Have we done that? And in the process, have we sold them a bill of goods that in their minds is truth? If we have, it is selfish. It is selfish indeed. We need to do a few things. We need to stick to the principles of this party. We have left them behind. Lower the corporate tax rate. It's not difficult. Now, does this give more to companies or corporations? Yes, you bet it does. But it does more than just appear biased and one-sided. Listen, a lower tax rate creates jobs. No one can possibly argue or disagree with the fact that when a person stands to make more money, they will take the road of more money. It's logical. Everyone knows that. That knowledge is universal. Lower taxes means a company or corporation has more revenues to work with. When they hire more people because they have a lower tax rate, they create more jobs. They create more revenue for this country in the process. And with a lower tax rate, people get to keep more of the money they've worked so hard for. Inner cities will upgrade from the infusion of dollars coming into the area, and over time, families will be able to stay together. Pride will return, the neighborhood will get a gigantic facelift, and we all will benefit from it. It is a principle of this party that has been forsaken. In terms of paying off the national debt, it's not impossible. It's been done before, and we can do it again. We can also balance the budget. States are required to balance their budgets when the federal government has no such requirement. Spending more than what you take in is not only irresponsible, it is dangerous. Someday, someone is going to have to pay off that debt. And that someone will be our children and our grandchildren, and the way things are going, even our great-grandchildren. Now, it's not fair to them, nor is it an act of love from us, and we need to stop it. And taking on these challenges does not make us weak. It makes us better. We must gravitate away from just talk. That although it may sound good and may be superficially desirable, only adds to the problem and produces additional debt and headache. Stimulus packages simply don't work. We've tried them. After billions and billions of dollars in stimulus, we are still no better off than we were before. In fact, the debt has grown. Stimulus packages are only temporary, like bandages, and they cannot maintain long-term economic growth. People need to work past the 4 or 5 week mark that these stimulus packages produce. People need to become employed and stay employed. And we do that by following one of the principles of this party. We need to lower the corporate tax rate. We must also look at reducing the size of government. We can't forsake that. A large government does not help to create or maintain jobs, nor does it promote entrepreneurship. A large government, an expanding government, would bury an entrepreneur or a small business with so much paperwork and oversight that the would-be business person would be limited and simply or eventually give up or go under from fees and compliance provisions. Lower taxes and a simplified tax base would resolve all of that. And if we want to get to the point where we're bringing in a large tariff on imported goods, that's only going to destroy businesses in this country, because to be frank with you, large corporations will simply shut down as opposed to paying such a tariff. They won't do it, and the unemployment rate will go up, and we will be destroyed as a nation. Lower taxes, smaller government, a strong military, a belief in life, and a return to the freedoms and rights outlined in our Constitution. It's not complicated. It's simply a decision that we need to make, and we need to make it together, and we need to stick together. We cannot ostracize an ethnic portion of this country. We can't do that anymore. We must be inclusive. So, what do we do to bring this about? We must. This party must. Someone must make a decision to become aggressive in our actions. We must take time out of our day to write on 3 levels, to contact on 3 levels. We want that in our minds of every member of this party. 3-level contacts. 1, write a friend and say, stand with me on these basic principles. Be willing to come and vote with me, friend. That's where our power is in our vote. And by the hand of God who lives, your mighty vote will be felt like an earthquake in the halls of Congress and every other lawmaking and law executing body in this country. Your vote is important, and never forget that. It is deadly to any elected official. Number 2, befriend someone that you don't know. The more out of your box you get, the better. We don't want to get to the point where we're preaching to the choir. We must reach people that we don't normally reach. This party must reach every African American in this country. I'm one of them. I didn't feel anyone reaching out for me. I didn't feel it. It needs to be felt. Don't allow fear and stereotypes to prevent you from reaching out. If you meet someone of another ethnicity, say, excuse me, I'm uncomfortable with this, but I feel so strongly about it that I must share it with you. I must. Now, if you have to, you can direct them to my book. That's fine. It's free. You can get it online for free. There are 40 million African Americans in the United States. And I say African Americans as opposed to black because the word African American is empowering to the person who hears it. And it gives respect to the person who is saying it. Now, with 40 million people as a voting base, you could win every election in every town, in every city in this country. That kind of voting power cannot be and should not ever be ignored. As a whole, African Americans generate over $507 billion annually. That's $500 billion. And that's with unemployment way up into a 27%. Don't be foolish. African Americans are a resource that this party cannot fail to reach out to. And now, with all the African Americans coming forward, all of the speeches being made, all of the books available, mine included, we have an avenue. Let's use it. Let's be smart. Number 3, the internet. Do not ignore this vital piece of technology. We're buried by the internet and social media in the last election. And as our mothers have always said to us, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Use the internet. Use social media. Reach out. Use it to email your representatives, party leaders, newspaper, media outlets, and most importantly, your family. Not just once, but multiple times. You will get the desired response. Use the African American base to reach African Americans. Let's be smart about this thing. Let's not lose another election. Let's not destroy the party. Let's get back to the principles that made us who we are. These 3 things, 3 times a day, would shatter all other parties in our wake. And the only thing stopping us from doing this is our unwillingness to do it. This isn't I'm not giving this speech to make you feel uncomfortable. I'm giving this speech so that you can become wise and say, you know what? That guy's right. We only have so much time. The time is short. We must utilize it. We must act quickly. We must act decisively. And it must be effective. It cannot be superficial. We cannot get bogged down in arguments and ideologies that have never worked, but that we want to say again because it makes us feel good. If you want to know how to get 40 million people on your side, then ask the 40 million people. Don't sit in your living room patting each other on the back saying we're going to do this and we're going to do that. Ask, reach out. Again, not to make you feel uncomfortable, but as a tool, as wisdom. So the next time that we come into an election, so that the next time someone reaches someone on the street or asks someone on the street, so the next time there's a debate on television, so that the next time there's a debate on the social media, so that the next time someone is actually saying something, they will say, yes, that's my party, because they believe in me, they reached out to me, and they were not in any way trying to make me feel foolish. They ask. And I appreciate that. Thank you, my friends. God bless you. And God bless America.